to start off in regards to the game, obviously we're disappointed in the loss. We gave up some explosive plays, and then we did not execute in the red zone a few of those times to start the game in particular, to have the interception there and to have the 3rd and 1 and have the false start. So I thought big picture that offensively we were able to move the ball and do some things. We knew kind of what their game plan and their strategy was going to be, and then to get it to 13-7, to come out in the third quarter and give up that touchdown, and then for us to come back and have a 16-play drive, almost 10 minutes, and get Justin in the end zone. I thought that was good, but then just at the end there, being able to not stop them and then not score offensively, that's where it got away. And then when you become one-dimensional against this team, look out, because they're pretty good at what they do, and that's where they tee off on you. So once we got behind and got one-dimensional, that was a little bit more difficult. So have to get back to really checking out the tape. It's week 1. We know that we can improve, so that's what we'll do. And our guys need to make sure that they evaluate themselves, are tough on themselves, and then we as coaches too.
Matt, what went into the way you deployed Justin Fields tonight with that package? And as the game was unfolding, what ended up limiting him to 5 snaps, which is what I think it was?
Yeah. It was hard to tell if we knew exactly how many snaps he was going to get. But again, once you get behind like we did, and you get back a few scores, that's when you get more into the 2-minute mode. That's probably why there was a little bit less. But who knows? I think that for him, the times that he got in there, that he did well, and being his first game, and Andy did a good job too of helping extend some of those drives, and us going through that whole deal of how it's going to go. But we'll continue to keep growing with that stuff and see what we want to do with that. But in the end, I thought, and again, I go back to that touchdown run. I mean, Justin did a great job, and then early in the game on the first throw too. So. The film, going back and just watching the film in general, regardless of Justin or Andy, just in general to see where we were. I thought we got the run game going pretty good, which was good, but we got to use this to grow, and we got to stay positive.
Now, what was your thought process on the 4th downs, going for it 4 times throughout the game? Was it a sense that you were going to have to do that to keep up?
Not necessarily. Maybe a little bit once you get a flow of seeing where things are. Early on, it was more so where we were on the field. And we felt comfortable. We felt good with the plays that we called in those scenarios. So, I think we were 0 for 4 on 4th down. That's, we got to be better there and produce so that we can keep the chains going. So we'll do that. But at the same point in time, there was nothing too specific other than I think maybe a coincidence that we wanted to just be a little bit more aggressive in those areas.
Specifically on the 4th and 15, that's at a different point in the game.
Yeah.
On that one specifically.
Of going for it? Yeah, that was, again, you just kind of, some of it's just a feel of where you're at. And where things offensively, that one play when Aaron had that sack, we had a double move out there, and it was a little pump play, and he made a play. That's what he does. And so sometimes there's a risk reward when you take a shot that can happen at times. And if that doesn't happen, then maybe we have a guy and we hit it down the sideline. But that's what you're dealing with when you play this team. That's kind of what I was getting to the other day with Aaron. You can contain him, but then at a crucial point, because I still felt like we were moving the ball and getting into the big red zone. But then he made that play, and it made it 2nd and forever, and then 3rd and forever, and then trying to go for it on 4th. So,
about playing Justin in spurts,
yeah, can
that be good for his development in long term?
Well, being the 5 plays like Adam said, I think that it's when and how you do it. That you got to have a little feel to it and see. But again, you got to have a why as to how you do it. And I think we didn't really know the exact amount of plays that it would be. Could have been more, could have been less. But once we got behind a couple scores there in the 4th quarter, we knew it was going to probably limit a few of his stuff.
How do you account for the explosive plays that you guys gave up?
Yeah, that's what we got to. I got to get with Sean and watch the tape and see the why, see who it was, because they had too many. You can't give those big plays up, for touchdowns. And they got a good quarterback back there that's going to make plays. And he had that one 3rd down. He loves dagger routes, and he had that one big 3rd down across the middle. I think it was 3rd and 10. the early on in the game, they ran that double move on the post route. Again, I got to get to the tape and see the why, and we got to get that fixed. So, but I have a lot of belief in our guys. I really do. Our guys they know that we can play better. It's not about, for us, not about overreacting. We got to stick together, just stay together, get better. And that's a good. You have to give a lot of credit to Sean McVay and that team. They got good players. They're well coached. And I have nothing but respect for them.
Man, how do you feel about being on your third left tackle on night one?
I know. Yep. No, that was, Larry has an ankle and Jason has a quad. So we'll see where that's at. But, yeah, when you have that happen, I thought Isaiah came in. I got to see how he played. But we do have a little bit of depth there for those situations. But certainly against this defense, that's not really what you want. Not with Isaiah, but just losing 2 tackles.
The touchdown to Cup in particular to start the third. Looked like Marquis was on him initially. Was that supposed to be the safety picking him up, or was
I don't know. Until I see that tape. I don't know, but that's something we can't have happen.
What did Andy tell you about his interception there in the end zone? And I'm curious, like the in and out with him, Justin. Do you think that affected him a little bit coming out?
No, because they knew and we knew and we practiced it. They know the progression of those plays, so I don't think that had anything to do with that. But the kid tipped the ball and it made a great catch too. So, but the big picture for us is, okay, we have a big run to start the game. You have a 41-yard run. You get down there, the tempo's going, you're good to go. It's 3rd and 1, and then boom, penalty, right? And now all of a sudden you look up and you don't even get 3 points. They get the ball. So that's where I think we got to grow. And it helps momentum-wise. It helps you. And when you come out with nothing, but we also talked about this was going to be a slugfest early on in the first quarter. We talked about there's going to be some punches thrown, and how do you react to it? And so, coming in at halftime, 13-7, the way the first half went, we were okay with that. We wanted to come out now and finish the 3rd and 4th, and that's what we did into. So we got to get better there.
To follow up on Adam's question about quarterbacks, are you concerned about a downside there of it being a challenging situation for Justin to be thrown in cold, for Andy to have his rhythm disrupted by coming in and out?
Yeah, no, that's something that we got to keep an eye on, because that is you want to make sure that when you're doing it, that like going into this game, we know that we're going to do that with Justin, that he feels comfortable and knows exactly what the plays are that he's going in for, and then situationally how we're going to use it. So I don't think that's a bad question at all. I think that's real, and I think that when you go through these situations or these experiences, you got to look at all of that stuff, because you want to make sure that you're taking care of both guys the right way.
Was that on using Justin in isolated plays like that, or were you gauging it as you went to say, hey, if this starts to work a little better, maybe we go to more of that?
No, we had the plan, and we stuck to our plan. We knew where and when we were going to use them, and we stuck to that. And so we'll see where that goes and how we do it, but I think we all understand that for us, strategically, we'll see where we go with that, without giving anything away. What's that?
On their first touchdown, you had 2 veteran safeties not touch a guy on the ground. How do you account for something like that in a moment like that?
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a learning lesson, to make sure you touch him when he's down. And that's what we were looking at and what they were looking at. So it's not for lack of effort with those guys. It's really not. I think these guys they care. And so what they'll do is Eddie will get out there and he'll make sure and see why that happened, number one. And then number 2, we got to finish. Everything we do is we finish. So, now is our challenge is after 1 week, we got to go back. And that was real football now for everybody, right? On all 3 phases, that was real football. There's some positives. There's some negatives. And that's for really all 32 teams right now. So we got to make sure we stick together, which we will, and create a plan and get ready for next week.
It's a little disheartening that the defense, which everyone thought was going to be the strength of the team, comes out, plays like this. To Dan's point, Eddie misses some tackles. Khalil, I think, had 1 assist tonight. Akeem has a pretty bad roughing the passer penalty. Is it disheartening that they played the way they played?
Well, they would tell you that that because they know that for them they have higher standards, and they understand too. The turnover thing, the takeaway. We talked about that all training camp, right? Let's get turnovers. Let's get takeaways. Sometimes, schematically, teams aren't going to let you get after them with the ball out real quick. I think Stafford was getting the ball out pretty quick today. But then when you do have opportunities to make plays, you want to be able to do that. So we got to go back to the drawing board, and it'll be Sean's first time going through this, so we'll go ahead and see, okay, where would he have maybe called something the same or different, and get with them. Sean was great on the headset, very calm, understands that he's going to challenge these guys, and this is not going to be good enough for him or us or the players. They know that. So, but the complimentary football thing where you're getting stopped. I thought the one time that we did it was we punted the ball, we got them backed up, right? They were backed up. We got the sack, we got the football, we went down and scored. That's what we need more of, being able to work together, complementary. And then again, you say, where didn't you do it to start the game? We had a big kickoff return. We get the ball, we're moving it, big run down there, and then don't finish it. So we got to be better there.
To be clear on the 4th and 15, is that a situation where you just really felt good about the play call going into it, or at 10 minutes left in the game, cutting it to 10 just didn't seem like that was good enough for you?
Yeah, I think, at that point in time, again, more of just probably a gut feeling of we felt good about the play. I think we knew we were going to have to be protecting right there. And that's the one thing when you get in those long down and distances, we know that stuff can happen. But yeah, you could probably look at it a couple different ways, but we felt good about right there.
Everyone wanted to see what Justin could do.
Yeah.
Limited sample size. But what stood out to you about what he was able to do out there today?
I thought that you go back to really the very first play when he went out there, right, and was able to make a throw, and that was an RPO. That was an RPO. So he made a decision to throw the ball off of a look that we had. So right there to start the game, I thought that was great. And then he was involved on the sideline. And then when we got down into the red zone at times, we had a couple things in for him that worked and some that didn't work. But when he got down in the red zone, again, he did some great things there too. So we just got to keep having him grow and keep staying positive. But he's certainly a weapon.
Thanks, guys.
Okay? All right. Take care.